What up? It's your boy T-Bro and reaction to today's Music Monday. So, now I'm about to react to another video from a classic dub spot video featuring the legendary hip-hop producer Marley Marl. This is his classic recipe segment he did for dub spot years ago. And this is recreating the infamous song that got him noticed, that got him and the Juice Crew noticed, and Queensbridge noticed. MC Shan the Bridge, as he will recreate it with the Akai MPC Renaissance. So, like how he did the Biz Markie music Mop Biz, recreated that one. Now he gonna recreate the bridge. So let's get it. Oh yeah, this is the same equipment he used to redo the Big Music Mock Biz Markie.
You love to hear the story again and again of how it all got started way back when. Marley Marl is right in your face. Classic recipes is right in the place.
Oh my God, I think I'm having a rap attack.
In control, in control, in control. Golden Era Radio.
When I first met MC Shan and he came to the House of Hits at my house in Queensbridge, he had the Marley Scratch written on a napkin.
All of his beats and my rhymes attached. From the new creation called the Marley Scratch. We're always steered at a positive course. His beats,
that was his first one. So that's the first one he did.
Before Shan started making records, he was known as a freestyle king on 12th Street in Queensbridge.
Hey.
The track The Bridge was made not to be a record, it was made for intermission music at the Queensbridge Festival that we had in Queensbridge Park in 1984.
Okay.
Now the first time the track played, everybody's heads turned. Everybody was like, wow, it's a song about Queensbridge. Everybody was like, play it again, play it again. It was so popular that day when we played it in the park. One of my nephews took the tape and spread it throughout Queensbridge. Everybody in Queensbridge had a copy of that song, and it wasn't a record yet. I had to do something about that. Back then, when we was making records, we didn't have the Abletons, the MPCs, we didn't even have a 1200. So let me tell you my setup that I used to use. I had two sampling digital delay SDD 2000s from Korg.
Wow.
I also used my trusted 808,
Gee,
which I used on a lot of productions back in those days. Now, a lot of people used to think I was using an SP12 or a SP1200. I wasn't. I was actually triggering the drum sounds from the 808 into the SDD sample and digital delay. My friend Claudio suggested that I use the kick and the snare. I would put the snare in one sampler and trigger it off the 808 and put the kick in the other one, and that's how it was achieved. And today, we're gonna recreate the bridge in a brand new MPC Renaissance. Not too long before that session, I was given a whole batch of records from Tough City's own Aaron Fuchs. He said, here, can't pay you for this Spoonie G session, but you could take this pile of records. In that pile of records was Impeach the President.
Oh wow.
Now, being that I already knew that Impeach the President was hot on the streets, I want to remake that song. Now, as you see, when we put that in the drum machine, the pattern is boom, pat, ba-boom, boom, pat, boom, boom, pat. That's the sound that I'll redo. Now, that's how it sounds programmed without the ghost notes included. For those of you who don't know what a ghost note is, you can go back to Eric Beer's President, episode 2, and see what I'm talking about. Now, the ghost notes for this track is actually these two sounds right here. This is how it sounds with the added ghost notes. After the kick and snare was looped up with the ghost note included, I added the hi-hat, which came from an 808. Today we'll simulate the 808 with the Renaissance MPC. I decided that this track needed to be very noisy. I want this track to be heard blocks and blocks down the block before it got to you. Now for that noise, I didn't have to dig too far. I just went into my brother's records and found one of the records that they used to play to get the crowd moving. Scratching by the Magic Disco Machine.
Oh yeah,
You might say
damn.
it sounds a little different to your ears. That's because I reversed it and played it backwards and triggered it off the kick so it could sound like this. And that's the backwards effect with the reverb coming first before the hit. The impact of reversing it was incredible because to this day, a lot of people never knew what that sound was. Now you'll notice every time the kick kicks in the bridge, you will hear that backwards sound at the same time. Back in the day, we used to trigger those samples off of kicks, snares, or whatever would send a pulse to the sampler.
Okay.
Now, in order for me to get this beat started, I had to come with a dope intro. I mean, an intro that would just blow everything else out the water. So we came with this. That was made because the 808 back in the day had an auto fill-in section. You could hit the button, every 8 bars, a nice auto fill would come in. And that fill happened to have been in the drum machine from a previous session. And I didn't know, but it worked out and we used it.
Nice.
So if you listen to Impeach the President, you'll hear this at the top.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the honey drippers in the house tonight. They just got back from Washington, D.C. I think they got something they want to say.
Now in the bridge, my voice, I had to say, ladies and gentlemen, we got MC Shan and Marley Marl in the house. They just came from off tour, and they want to tell you a little story about where they come from.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got MC Shan and Marley Marl in the house tonight. They just came from off tour. They want to tell you a little story about where they come from.
We didn't say that hip-hop started in the bridge on that record. We said we wanted to tell you a little story about where we came from, but a lot of other people didn't see it that way.
Right.
Basically, we made the record in
Yeah, for the those who know now realize what he's talking about. He's referring to the bridge versus the South Bronx war.
1984. It didn't see the streets until 1986 when it came out on the Bridge Records. Bridge Records was formed in Philadelphia by Lawrence Goodman of Pop Art Records. Because Roxanne Shante was already signed to Pop Art, we felt that that would be the best home for the Bridge. As you already know, this record became a hit, but a lot of responses came out from people who thought that we was talking about hip-hop started in Queensbridge. Especially from people in the Bronx.
Here we go.
Boogie Down Production came out with South Bronx, South Bronx.
Yep.
South Bronx, the South Bronx, South Bronx, the South Bronx.
So you know we had to go back in the lab and come with something else. We came with Kill That Noise.
Kill that noise. Kill that noise.
And they came with
The bridge is over.
The bridge is over, the bridge is over. Bye-bye. The bridge is over, the bridge is over.
The funny story about The Bridge is Over is that
Go back real quick. Guess you didn't repeat the names on there as well too.
Over.
So of course you got the late Grace C's, Skylar Rock, and KRS-One, Black Master KRS-One, but also somebody who been helping out with Club Quarantine back who is a young teenager sidekick DJ, Mr. D Nice right there. That is a young D Nice, best known as DJ of the Club Quarantine right there. Shout out to D Nice for keep the party going while we was in the pandemic and quarantine, secluded to our homes.
Bridge is over.
the funny story about The Bridge is Over is that I had met BDP for the first time at Power Play Studios when they was playing their demos for Mr. Magic. Mr. Magic was my partner.
R.I.P.
He was the voice, I was the DJ on the world famous Mr. Magic Rap Attack that was on WBLS back in the day. Now the Rap Attack was the first commercial rap radio show in the world, and everybody wanted to get down. Well, that night, Boogie Down Production wanted Mr. Magic to hear their demo, so he went in the room. The music was very loud. He did not like it at all, so it got really, really heated. In a rush to vacate the studio, I forgot my famous drum reel with all my drum sounds on them. Fast forward, I'm listening to the radio and I hear a song called The Bridge is Over, utilizing my drum sound.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Wow! This was like a little deep. We getting deep into the Bridge South Park War right here. Woo!
Like, yo, that sounds like my drum sounds. Who's that? That's them kids that Magic dissed in the studio the other day. The Bridge is Over was made using my drum sounds that I left at Power Play Studios.
Damn.
Every producer knows their drum sounds. It has something to do with the needle going over the plastic with a certain amount of crackle on each kick. Hear that? That's what I'm talking about.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you know it's time. You know what it's time for, right? It's time for that special spice.
Here we go.
Well, today's special spice is this. The 808 kick. That's right, I had the 808 kick riding under the kick from Impeach the President, because I told you in episode 2 that Impeach the President has a lot of mid to it, and it's not so low. So we use this for a robust kick under the kick. This is an effect that you would hear coming up the street before the car actually got there if they was playing that record.
Oh, yep.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Now that everything's inside the MPC, I know you're dying to hear the end result. Today we're going to do it a little different. Today, the acapella will live on this brand new SP15 Marley Marl retrofitted Technique turntable.
You love to hear the story.
Yes, you do.
You love to hear the story again and again of how it all got started way back when. The monument is right in your face. Sit and listen for a while to the name of the place. Hip hop was set out in the dark. They used to do it out in the park. Every place they said his name, it rang an alarm. Otherwise known as Mean T Tom, a brother who's known for his rap. Jappy Jack, Larry Lapp, third least not last. A cool brother by the name of Gas. Face Brothers made you get loose. They was down with the brother called Cousin Bruce. They used to jam in the center. You had to pay so you could enter. Go to the door, get frisked just in order to get in. And if you wasn't from this town, then you couldn't fight and win. But every time they had a jam, they couldn't get no peace. So that's why the jams out there in the parks they had to cease, cause you was in the break.
I wish you guys saw we got the bridge, but it wasn't the book.
Why don't you wise up, show all the people in the place that you are bright? Make this here one jam that you do not start no fight. Cause that is one thing that we all must see done. And if you start some shit, your ass had bet to run. Cause you're in.
One of the lessons learned from this song is sometimes when you sit in your house and you create, you never know what happens with that creation.
Facts.
This song was meant to be a mere intermission music filler. It became a hit. Put your all into it, because you never know, you could be making a hip-hop classic yourself.
Nice.
Wow, now you know the ingredients to that classic recipe. It took a kick and a snare that I always love to use, Impeach the President. I use it on about 3 or 4 songs that week, and they all were hits. We took a blaring sound from a disco record. I turned it backwards, but made this song to be one of the first songs with noise in it.
Right.
A nice hi-hat and a special spice of an 808 kick that rode on the bottom that you all love. And a special voice by MC Shan made it a hit, The Bridge. So there you have it, another edition of Classic Recipes with your boy DJ Legend, aka Marley Marl. Stay tuned, because you know I got the most classics in hip hop, and I'm going to show you how all those recipes was made. Till next time, peace.
Hanging pictures on my wall.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Every Saturday, rapper text
Mr. Magic.
Marley Marl. I let my tape rock till my tape pop.
You love the every time you heard that sound in the
All right, cool. So that was a good one right there. That was a good one for us right there. I like that one. I'm definitely going to check out the one he do for Eric B for President, though, for real. So, yeah. Definitely inspiration video to watch right there as well, too. So, yeah, other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.